There are winter days when cold light falls like a gentle reminder. Time does not merely pass, it settles in the places where human beings reflect most deeply. In the Berkshire office in 2020, amid financial reports, shareholder letters, and a still fizzing can of Coca-Cola, an ancient soul stepped into the silence, not from the past nor from the future, but from the realm of human contemplation itself. He came to a 90-year-old man, writing the distilled lessons of a lifetime, not to praise him, nor to test him, but to ask one final question. A question meant for those who have reached the summit and are lucid enough to point out an easier path for the generation that follows. On that winter night, Socrates came once more to meet Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett sat quietly before the manuscript of his 55th shareholder letter, the one in which he devoted much of his words to emphasizing a startling truth. Most investors would do better simply by buying the entire market and holding it for a very long time. This was no longer advice from a 90-year-old legend. It was the summation of a lifetime of experience, a philosophy distilled from 6 decades of observing human nature and markets. As he set down his pen, a gentle presence had somehow already taken a seat nearby. Socrates smiled. The dialogue about that difficult truth began.
You spent a lifetime beating the market, only to advise others not to try to beat it. Warren, is that the pinnacle of wisdom? If you ask that question, you already understand half of it. The other half is this: I realized that being capable does not mean everyone must try to be capable in the same way. So you are saying that what you achieved should not be something others attempt to replicate? Exactly. Just as you, Socrates, asked great questions, but you never expected every citizen of Athens to become Socrates. I spent my life reading financial reports, analyzing businesses, and accumulating a mountain of mistakes. Ordinary people do not need that journey to live a good life. Yet people believe in legends. They see you beat the market and conclude, I can do that too. That is the tragedy of misunderstanding. If I were born again, I might not be able to do what I once did. The market I conquered has transformed many times. But low costs, discipline, and an acceptance of simplicity, those remain true in any era. Simplicity is an eternal truth, at least in investing, and in life as well. Do you ever feel regret seeing so many chase secrets, Wall Street methods, and market-beating strategies? I regret only this: the simplest words are the ones people least want to hear. I tell them, buy an S&P 500 index fund and hold it for life. And they still ask, is there a better stock? Like a patient told by a doctor to walk every day, who then asks, is there a faster pill? Exactly. People want different results without different habits. Even in investing, they want freedom, yet they despise the boredom that freedom requires. Explain that, Warren. Freedom is boring. Financial freedom looks like this: slow, steady, repetitive, dull. Put money into an index fund, forget it, and go do what you love. No thrills, no drama. But people crave the feeling of being smarter, better, more special. So you are asking them to give up the desire to be a hero? No, I want them to be heroes in a different way. Not heroes who beat the market, but heroes who conquer their own impatience. That is the harder battle, isn't it? 100 times harder. The market is only a mirror. The ego, greed, and fear, that is the labyrinth. Then tell me, Warren, after a lifetime of investing, what is the greatest lesson you have learned? That wisdom lies not in winning, but in knowing which games do not need to be won.
Socrates closes his eyes, letting a few seconds pass in silence.
You have just spoken the spirit of philosophy, to know what you do not know, and to know what does not need to be known. Then you have just captured the spirit of passive investing. You spent your life selecting businesses. Why then do you want others to abandon selection altogether? Because most people do not know what they are doing. Passive investing, beneath its cloak of boredom, contains a profound humility. I do not know which company will win. I only know that the human economy will keep moving forward. A faith in the future and in people. Without believing that tomorrow will be better than today, investing has no meaning at all. And what gives you that faith? You have lived through the Cold War, recessions, the dot-com bubble, the 2008 crisis. What sustains it?
Buffett quietly looks out the window.
Because I have seen people rise again and again. Even in the darkest moments, someone is still building, creating, loving, hoping. We are a species of renewal. How curious! The man regarded as the world's greatest investor advises most people not to invest the way he did. Socrates, I am the exception. Passive strategy is for 99% of humanity. I do not want them to walk into the traps I was fortunate enough to escape. Not everyone needs to become Buffett, but anyone can become free. Do you see that this is the legacy you leave behind? Not Berkshire Hathaway, not the deals, not the title, Oracle of Omaha. If there is a legacy, it is this. I tried my best to help ordinary people live ordinary lives that are sufficiently fulfilled.
Warren, do you ever think that your final victory was not beating the market, but overcoming your own ego? If leaving the spotlight to encourage others to live simply is called overcoming the ego, then perhaps it is. Wisdom does not belong to the one who climbs the highest, but to the one who reaches the summit and points out an easier path for those who follow.
Buffett smiles calmly.
I only hope they live better lives than I did.
Warren Buffett spent a lifetime proving that the greatest victories are not always found in glamorous battles, but in the courage to let go at the right moment. At the end of the journey, he did not boast of legendary deals or years of market outperformance. He spoke instead of simplicity, discipline, and humility. In that winter room in Omaha, we do not see merely a Wall Street legend. We see an elderly man, calm as a still lake, who spent 90 years earning the right to say a sentence that sounds ordinary but costs a lifetime to understand. You do not need to beat the market to win at life.